Welcome to Simon on the Sofa. Today I am with the wonderful Gaetano. Hello, Gaetano.
Hello.
And I'm sure you're noticing my attention of the singing bowl. It's been some of you have watched the talks before this. You will see that sometimes I use the singing bowl, and very much I use that just to really take a moment to just come into the space and just really for myself as well, just to center me with where I am, what I'm doing, and everything that's led up to this morning, whether that be getting up, rushing here and setting up, and then I like to just be here with as present as I can with Gaetano. So I've been looking forward to this talk with this man, because he's actually exploring transparency himself, and so today's talk is very much about transparency and what that means, and transparent communication, which is what the sofa is all about. And it always excites me at this point, because I've been talking about transparency for 3 or 4 years now, and it's really exciting when I start to see more and more people that are writing about it and talking it and sharing it and so on. So welcome. Thank you for coming to sit on the sofa.
Thank you very much for having me.
As you know, we sort of just go with the flow, and that's how the sofa works. So what would be wonderful is, before we share the name of your book, because you've written a book on this, but maybe and what's on your, if I say to you, why are you exploring transparency?
Well, for me, transparency is a very important word. I've been kind of working with it possibly throughout my life. As a child, being in Italy, I've always been kind of a strange kind of a child. And so, I was just like, I've been looking for honesty, and I've been looking for something crystal clear that would come to me, and just explore different subjects and different things. And 5 years ago, while I was meditating, as I meditate every day, as I told you, I just got this word, on the top of my head. It just came to me. And then, of course, there's been a kind of a long process of getting really to know what this word means. Some people don't know, and actually most people don't know, what is the word transparency. Transparency, you can see these days, is just like, everywhere you look, there is this word. So what does that mean? It means actually to be completely crystal clear, as from my belief anyway, to be crystal clear with one another, to be crystal clear with yourself, first of all. And once you have achieved that kind of deepness, that profound sense that you belong, then I think you can explore to work with other people, and then just like let other people what you really want, and what is that you're really searching for. So my kind of experience with this word has been an experience of search and research, rather, and transparency is just around us at the moment. It's just like wherever you see, wherever if you look at commercials, if you look at this or that, there is, people use transparency more and more.
Yeah, but they use it, and also they're using it as well. The word transparency is also being used in this idea to promote truth. Yeah, yes. So it's like, well, if I'm a transparent company, or if I'm a transparent person, or if I'm a transparent product, for example, I'm really declaring to you everything. So it's almost like you said, showing your whole self, as it were. Yeah. Now we know that's not happening in many people and organizations and so on using it, but it's lovely what you said in terms of it needs searching, and it's a deepening of yourself.
Yes.
So when you say that that's a deepening of yourself, obviously you've gone on that inward journey, as it were. So through that inward journey of transparency, how has that deepened yourself? And also, because I know from my own experience, when you delve deeper within and you go in that transparent place and you have to uncover all of the stuff that's down there that might be blocking you or not serving you.
Yeah.
What's really wonderful as well is if you share what transparency's brought up for you, but also might be very nice to also, share, how it's deepened your experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I really, that is exactly what I have kind of written, because a few years ago I was going through a crisis, as Sam does, and I was going through a personal crisis. I had been teaching Reiki for like 15 years, and that would not actually fulfill me anymore. I didn't feel like I was actually helping people, so I stopped. I just didn't feel like. So I took like a 5 years sabbatical kind of years. I spent all of my saving. I just kind of withdraw, and during meditation, because I do meditate a lot, there was these children that would appear to me, and they call themselves the angels of transparency. So, and they told me that they were going to be here to help me heal my inner child. Okay, so through that. And through that experience that I've gone through, all my life, being a spiritual person, has been a life of evolution, because I'm a teacher as well, and therefore, if I do not feel right within myself, I know that I cannot teach people, because it's some kind of ethical that I've got, but it's something for me anyway. So, that's why I stopped teaching Reiki at that time. Now I'm starting again, but... and so these angels would come and would talk to me and would kind of communicate with me daily, just to make sure that my inner child was nurtured, was no longer abandoned, was no longer rejected. It's just like working in this historical time that we're going through, these times of changes and transformations and transparency. It is so important that people get really, as we were saying before, really crystal clear about themselves first. So that's why I kind of start working within myself, deep down myself, profoundly looking for that little boy that was kind of hidden away, completely forgotten, completely abandoned, completely kind of left alone. So during that process of of long 5 years, slowly that boy was starting being nurtured again and would find his own soul.
Yeah, and some love. And some attention. And some support.
Love, support, and of course, a lot of forgiveness went through that. A lot of things that needed to be kind of completely kind of not forgotten, but dealt with and then kind of put away. Kind of cutting those cords that of energy that you do not need any more kind of cords to do with past issues that you've gone through your life and that would come back all the time, or people that you've met that did not need to be in your energy or in your energy field anymore. So just cutting all those people, judgmental issues, prejudice. In Italy, and growing up as a child, in Italy, it has been a lot of Italian. There are a lot of things happening, especially in the south. Anyway, so you would just want to kind of rather than getting rid of them, just kind of heal them. Heal all these issues that you have, like growing up. And as I said, growing up as a kind of a strange little child, I would have a lot of issues anyway. So now that I have kind of come out of this, let's say, suppression that I had, mostly of my life, things have just kind of brightened up completely. And so now I can, start talking about the inner child that, it is healing. Of course, it's not healed, because otherwise, it would not be as it is now. So it is healed, it's growing, it's no longer a child, it's a kind of an adolescent kind of feeling at the moment. But what do you mean when you need to heal the inner child? Healing the inner child means talk to yourself, love yourself first of all, talk to yourself, talk to this little inner voice inside yourself, just not kind of abandoning or just like said, okay, he's there, but I mean I'm not doing anything to him or something. So you have actually to
and not blame
at all,
and not blame others, family or members or Italy or anything else that you may have thought was creating that.
Don't holding any grudge about any people or anything like that. Just be open, just be transparent, just be crystal clear about what you want in your life and what and for me, for instance, that I'm here to serve people, to help people to realize this. So I've created all sorts of things now that will help people to heal their inner child, and that's why these angels have appeared to me, just to make sure that most of the inner children of the people are at the moment on the planet will be healed somehow.
Interesting. Okay, so there's a lot there, of course. So from a transparent perspective, you feel that you are healed now, and you've dealt with that pain and that suppression and that suffering that you was experiencing, or are you still having experiences of that even now as we journey on in this world? But through transparency, you're open to bringing that into observation, bringing that into awareness, and then still living on that. So, for example, I often think that we teach what we come to learn.
Of course.
Yeah. So so you're still working with people on that inner child.
Bravo.
so you're working. You're working with people and working with the inner child, so you can come together, both work on that area and elevate.
Of course, I would never say that I'm healed. I don't think that anyone is healed up to a point anyway. So no, of course I'm not healed, but I'm working towards it. And during the healing evolution that I'm going through, I'm evolving and I'm learning, because life is an evolving learning process. So do you make mistakes? Because I'm a human being. I'm nothing. I'm just a human being. So just like, and here I am. I'm here to help people develop and healing, and just showing them another way of come to terms with certain things, and knowing the inner child, and just like how these things really can help in this world, which is transforming.
And also I'd like to touch on something there, because when people hear, so I've been on this journey. I took a path, and I just followed the journey. And like I said earlier, it's flowed and brought me to magical, wonderful, unique individuals, because we're all unique. And and I know when you say the human experience, but there's something that maybe as well to touch on. So when people speak of angels, a lot of people from a transparent perspective, they scared of that. Also, it's like angels. What does he mean? He's talking about angels. Angels were communicating to him, or other angels are communicating to him, or something else out there is communicating to him. From your transparent perspective, what does the angels mean for you? Is it you communicating to you? Is it some energy form? Is it that you're seeing these physical beings? Share a little about that.
Yes, well, of course. I mean, I come from Italy, and I would actually just go against my religion, which is the Roman Catholic Church, if I would speak about angels. For instance, in Italy, although people are just kind of opening up towards it, I feel that in England and in America, people are much more open. But no, I would not say people are much more open. People are open everywhere, but I mean, it's because of the background and the religion background they go through that they might
and the
feel
conditioning
a little bit,
that we sometimes find ourselves in.
Yes, so they might feel a little bit threatened, if you speak so freely about the subject. For me, angels are energy forms of beings that communicate with you. So when I communicate with angels, I would feel that I can see an angel just like I'm looking at you just now. So an angel would just appear to me and would just like be there and telling me who he is and what he's doing at the moment for me to help other people. Or I would just feel like an energy very close to me, and then for this energy would just I would feel like maybe some fresh air around here. I know that there is somebody there that just wants to communicate with me. So for instance, when I am in an audience situation, if I look at people, if I have like 300 or 400 people before me, like has happened in Italy, then I just get a feeling that one person or the other person needs some kind of advice. They're going through some kind of turmoil in their life. They just need a word of compassion or something. So I just lead to them, and I just kind of go and tell them this and that.
So you feel that, and when you're in those situations, you get like almost like a psychic feeling, but without labeling it. But you get drawn towards certain feelings that you feel within yourself, and then you go and embody that, and then there's normally something that you've got to share with that individual.
Yes, yeah.
So that's why you feel that you're being guided to from some other source.
Yes,
and not from Gaetano.
No. It comes from outside. And so, if then I can say something to this person publicly, then I say so. If then the beings who are communicating with him just say that, you can just say a little publicly, but then you had to call her and tell something else in a more private way, then I do that too. Or people would say, this person needs... the beings would say this person really needs for you to go closer, but she's too shy to just communicate this in front of 3 other people. So I would maybe after call her and just communicate with her one-to-one.
Okay, and in terms of, so in terms of then you said that at one point you said that when the beings come, like what did you say? You didn't say they. You said he or you used the word he or they. So do you ever, is it masculine, feminine angels, just male energies that you're receiving from certain angels?
I don't think angels have any kind of, they are asexual. So it's like an energy, it does not really, I never think about those things at all. Some angels could kind of feel a little bit female-ish, but I don't actually perceive any sexual gender kind of things with them. Anyway.
It's more about an intuition through an energy. So what?
First, can I say to you something?
Yeah, please, of course.
Okay, well, I know that we are on camera, but because you are a communicator, for instance, I feel a lot of blue energy around you, and the blue energy, when I see and I feel that blue energy, that is the very strong Archangel Michael presence. Archangel Michael is the energy that helps you communicate with people and just and it's also the archangel that kind of helps the throat. The throat chakra, so it's a lot of blue energy around you at the moment. Not at the moment, I guess it's all the time because...
It's on my scarf.
No, it's usually Archangel Michael is it's an imperial blue color, so that is a royal blue.
And you can feel, so what, you can see that or you can feel that?
I can, at the moment with you I can feel it, but then as I was talking I saw the Archangel, who is also my guide. I work very much with his energy around you, very kind of strongly.
So has he left you now and come to me?
No, they are actually, no. Well, no, I mean, I
have him now, he's my angel now.
No, Archangel Michael works with millions and millions of people at the same time. So, they've got this gift of, I think in English it's said ubiquitous. Do you say that?
Yeah,
ubiquitous. When, an energy works with the millions of people.
So it's fascinating that you've pulled that up. Okay, so if I embody that, so we think about this Archangel Michael, and because maybe we've given him a name or we've given him a color or however we've described it. Well, what's difficult to grasp is that for a lot of people is that there's some outer force that is outside the human idea of separation and the human idea of the body that is actually controlling our actions and our choices and so on, or giving us support in some way. So if somebody says to you, maybe actually it's just you doing that. You're just creating that in your imagination to give you some encouragement, and it's the tools that you've used. Some people use angels, some people use tarot card, some people use crystals, which I know you use crystals as well. Some people tap in. So, what would you say to them in terms of that? Because we're talking now of like a human existence of how we perceive human life to be on one plane, and then you're talking about a plane that is intangible.
Well, I mean, I know that different people use different tools to kind of explore their spirituality and explore their possibly psychic abilities. From my experience, I've kind of channeled these energies, and therefore I just perceive them around me from time to time, all the time, if I'm tuning in to work with some people. So, it is just like a matter of getting to that level. And because, I feel really that, we're going to go towards that. you'll see how, this crisis, this kind of economic crisis is going through at the moment, and people made redundant, and people getting very scared. So I really feel that there is an awakening kind of things, an awakening, that really kind of helps people to come towards spirituality more, and therefore, they would just like feel. Some people feel just abandoned. They just feel like, in crisis. I hear a lot of people that, people that you would not think of, losing their jobs. They're just kind of losing their jobs like that. So it's just
things
like
are falling apart.
Yes, exactly. Banks are falling apart. All sorts of things, all sorts of institutions, kind of things. So it is a matter of time, I guess. But
well, it's a matter of time when people will be more connected to the intangible.
Yes.
Because you mentioned there about spiritualism. So it's something comes up for me quite regularly with this, and it'd be lovely for you to hear your views on this. Is that when we say spiritualism, for example, sometimes what I've noticed in the esoteric field is very much that spiritualism still creates some form of separation when we use the word spiritualism. Because we go, well, okay, well, I'm spiritual, you're not spiritual, or I'm seeing things, I'm psychic, I'm intuitive, so I'm spiritual. Or now that I see the world in a more esoteric way, in a more universal, global, expansive awareness, I'm spiritual, you're not. Whereas actually, if we wanted to, we could say that every single thing is spiritual, but there's a lot of systems, confines, structures, like you're saying, are falling away, that have actually limited our ability to just be that expansive.
Exactly.
What would you feel with that in terms of that word? I'm not saying not to use it to you. But do you know what I mean? It's sort of
when you say people might confuse also spiritualism with religion. When some people say, oh, but if you then believe in the angels, you're not a religion person anymore. Who says that? I can be a Catholic, but I can also be, because I've kind of gone through my life, different religions. So I've been a Buddhist for a time. Then, I loved Hinduism, for instance. So, when people kind of get through that, yes, we are approaching. I've lost you. Sorry, can you repeat that? Sorry.
You was going there.
Just away with the face.
I see your eyes. You was going, and because what's your eyes? You was going. No, bringing it back is perfect. Is that in terms of like spiritualism as a concept, as a belief? And you said something lovely there. You said that most people go, okay, spiritualism. Am I angels? Am I religious? And that you're believing in Hinduism and you're dabbling in Buddhism and so on, right? So even if we move beyond. Because one of the beautiful things about what we're even speaking about here is if we move beyond even the labels and the words that have even listed an angel, even listed Buddhism, even listed religion, even listed spiritualism, and we look beyond all of that and ask our questions of what that actually means to us, that can actually take us into a much more spacious place.
Yes, in a great state of mind. Where you are much more expanded. You have just forgotten about all these words, which are really words actually, that just getting cluttered in your mind. So if you just go beyond that and you just explore, how the human being can be so much expanding and so much aware actually of the energy around you. You can, once you have just gone beyond, then people would experience, and they will, because I'm sure they will.
Yeah, because you're saying it's moving towards that anyway, this awakening.
Yes, so you would feel the energy of a plant, which you already do, I'm sure, or you would feel, the energy of a crystal, or, even the energy of the people.
You see you as an energy field, that's
exactly,
it. Because at the end of the day, you're 60, in science terms, you're 60 to 80 trillion cells pulsating of electrical field.
Yes.
Your heart has an electromagnetic field measured of 15 feet.
Yeah.
So then we're now talking about how we're moving from the brain into the heart, and how we're actually vibrating in the connection to the whole of the universe, right?
Exactly.
So totally, I suppose what it is when we speak like this sometimes is that some people that come to the sofa, I'm also opening this up to all walks of life. So one of the things that I don't want to do on the sofa, and I know Gaetano doesn't want to do that with the work that he's sharing, is that to think, these guys are just spaced out, they're just crazy, right. They're just like, they're in the clouds, because it's not about that. It's open. What's happening, and Gaetano mentions about the awakening, and we're moving into 2012 now.
Yes.
What's happening is that whether you are aware of this or not, there is, like Gaetano says, a huge space of awareness which unfolding, which is actually stripping away. And I'd like you to just to tap on this in our last few minutes, is that it's even stripping away anything that you and I are even.
Of course.
Tapping into. Can you see that?
You know, we don't even know. I mean, you know, we do not know what is the future going to be. You know, I have just a strong feeling that just so many people who have lived, let's say, in the dark, in the sense that they have lived apart from all this, they're just going to be reawakened so much. All of a sudden, I know that is happening. I see more and more people coming towards this, and you know, in Italy, here, in America, everywhere I go, I just feel that. You know, people that have kind of lived separated from their self, from their soul, are just getting, you know, closer and closer and closer, so that all of a sudden they will be like, I'm sure, you know, I've planted many seeds. You know, even if you speak to some person about a little bit about energy or something, I know that a seed has been planted in their heart, and this seed is you know, slower growing, and slower, it's growing, and all of a sudden it will bloom. And it will bloom and it will blossom at the right time. Yeah,
definitely. And it's, you know, and it's a nice way of looking at it, because one of the things that comes up as well, and I think you're saying this, is more and more people are being drawn also to that. They're looking for ways to actually save themselves as well. There is that aspect of it, isn't there? That a lot of people move towards spiritualism or religion sometimes, and these other ideas for also saviour. You know, and when so much structures have fallen away, that is it's at those times when people really start to look at what is my life, what is my relationship to life, who am I, where am I going, what am I doing, where do I come from, and then they look a bit bigger. It's like, I'm on a planet in a universe. There's a whole galactic essence to this experience, which I wasn't aware of, because you know what, I'm glad I got made redundant or I got the sack, because I synchronistically bumped into Gaetano. Gaetano's told me about this stuff that's been going on for, let's be honest, thousands of years anyway. Probably since, well, let's say from the beginning. Let's not even try to say that it's like something new, some modern day experience. This is from the beginning. Something is going on. So. Okay, that's beautiful, and thank you for for bringing that up.
Yes.
Just on this last few minutes, let's bring it back to and I want to say human level, because I don't even see us as humans. Let's bring it back to an individual level, maybe a grounded space, just in this last bit for people coming in, because obviously you've written a book which is called The Angels.
It's called The Messages from the Angels of Transparency.
Right, so it's called The Messages from the Angels of Transparency, which, you know, you guys can purchase this in March. But as always, it's not about promoting Gaetano's book. What I really want to know is about the individual.
Yes.
So from your transparent perspective, how are you feeling right now? We're moving into 2012. You're in your life, you know, you're a single man.
Yes.
Yeah, you're a single man, and you know, I know you're off to Italy for Christmas, but you know, how are you feeling?
I'm actually feeling very happy inside myself. I feel very content. I feel like my life is just like unfolding. Finally, my life is really unfolding the way I want it to be. So it's just like a sense of awareness. A sense of, be able to kind of really feel this child that is grown now, and it's just like it's fulfilling his mission, it's fulfilling the purpose of his life. That is the way I feel.
Okay.
I feel extremely content is the word, really.
That's a lovely word. So, and also in terms of this transparent communication, do you conduct that with everybody that you meet?
Well, of course. Of course.
Or you try?
I try very hard. For sure, I conduct this issue of transparency with me all the time. I'm crystal clear about what I want to know and what I want to say and what I want to achieve. And then, of course, I kind of teach other people, or actually teach, maybe it's a bigger word. I kind of advise people in the way they should look for their transparency, especially in their soul.
Interesting. And one question that came up to me in the talk this week, I think we have time to throw this, it's quite a beautiful question, but it's nice to put it onto camera to people watching, is if you categorically knew 100% that you would live one more year, but you would leave your body in 1 year's time, but you was going to be fine until that point, you would leave your body in 1 year's time, what would you do?
Exactly the same. Exactly the same what I'm doing.
Wonderful. Okay. Wow, there you have it. Gaetano on the sofa.
Thank you, Simon.
No, thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you for exploring transparency. And obviously I know that in these talks we can't go everywhere with it, but I hope that people feel that, there's another person that's really finding his peace through accepting himself completely. Yes, in all facets, and now wanting to share that to continue to evolve, learn and grow from this unknown experience.
Of course.
Is that a good summary?
Oh yes, very good.
Is there anything you'd like to say to people?
No, that's exactly what it means. Growing, evolving, you're never healed. You keep growing and you keep evolving and you keep going through life, making the most beautiful experiences.
Yeah, tapping into the wonder that's here.
Exactly.
It's hug time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.